Polling in the fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections is underway, with people queuing up to vote in 49 constituencies across 6 states and 2 union territories. The voter turnout as of 1 p.m. is the highest in Ladakh at over 52%, while Maharashtra lags at 27%. It's Sena versus Sena in Mumbai as polling gets underway in the 6 constituencies of the city. Key battles also include Union Minister Piyush Goyal taking on the Congress leader Bhushan Patil for the Mumbai North seat. Voter turnout as of 1 p.m. remains low, around the mid-20%. The fifth phase of election sees Rahul Gandhi contesting from the Congress bastion of Raebareli. In Rahul Gandhi's former seat of Amethi, Smriti Irani will be looking to repeat her 2019 victory, but this time over Congress loyalist KL Sharma. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also eyeing his 4th consecutive victory from Lucknow. Iran confirms the death of President Ibrahim Raisi and Foreign Minister after search and rescue teams locate the crash helicopter's wreckage in eastern Azerbaijan. World leaders, including Prime Minister Modi and Russia's President Putin, convey condolences. Iran's Vice President Mohammad Mokhber is expected to take over on an interim basis till a replacement is elected. Hello and welcome to this election special broadcast. I'm your host Archana Solanki. In the fifth and final phase of voting in Maharashtra, the city of Mumbai is going to polls today. All 6 seats in the city are voting for as many as 116 candidates, but the fight is expected to boil down to a duel between the Mahayuti alliance consisting Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena and the BJP versus the Mahavikas Aghadi, which consists of the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena, the Congress and the Sharad Pawar-led NCP. Some of the early bird voters include Anil Ambani, Tata Sons Chairman N. Chandra and Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who's also contesting from Mumbai North. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das were also spotted casting their vote in the city this morning. In terms of the voter turnout, the Mumbai South constituency had a turnout of under 25%, while about 28% of voters in the other 5 constituencies had cast their votes by 1 p.m. While Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde sounded confident of his son Shrikant Shinde's victory from the Kalyan seat for the 3rd straight time and the BJP crossing its 400-plus seats target, he spoke to News 18's Shreya Dubey. Take a look.
किन मुद्दों के साथ मतदान करने पहुंचे हैं? डेवलपमेंट। क्या लग रहा है आपका बेटा इस बार हैट्रिक जो है वो करते नजर आएगा?
जोर से हैट्रिक करेगा।
हैट्रिक और 400 पार?
400 पार भी हो जाएंगे।
और जो असली और नकली शिवसेना की बात लगातार चल रही है कि इस चुनाव में पक्का होगा, क्या कहेंगे?
जो असली है उसके साथ लोग हैं।
All right, let's now connect with my colleague Mayuresh Ganpate, who's joining from Pedder Road. Mayuresh, Mumbai South this time is a keenly watched contest between the 2 Shiv Sena factions. What can you tell us more about it?
You can see a war, or we can say there's a Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena competition in South Mumbai to establish the supremacy over this particular constituency. If we see that from past 2 terms, United Shiv Sena is winning this constituency. Arvind Sawant is representing this constituency, and again Uddhav Thackeray has basically shown that trust in Arvind Sawant, and that's why the ticket has been given to him. Whereas he has been challenged by Yamini Jadhav of Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena. Yamini Jadhav is a close confidant of Eknath Shinde, and she has been given, or she has been assigned the task to defeat Mr. Arvind Sawant. Now, if we talk about this particular constituency, it's a very unique and dynamic constituency, because on one side you have a Pedder Road, you have Altamount Road, a high-rise buildings over here, a very posh societies you have got. And on the other side you have a Bhindi Bazaar, you have Kulaba, you have Girgaon, typical middle class, typical Marathi-speaking middle-class area you have got. So that's why this constituency becomes very much unique and very much interesting for us. Now, if we talk about the historical data, as I said, from past 2 terms, Shiv Sena, United Shiv Sena is winning this constituency, but before that it was BJP, Jayantiben Mehta had won that. Even for quite a long period, the Congress had also represented this, and it was considered to be as a Congress bastion when Murli Devra was there. The unique thing about this particular constituency, that the candidate who gets a win or who wins this constituency, and if his or her party establish the government in the center, that particular candidate has so far got the cabinet seat. Whether it was Murli Devra, after Murli Devra it was Jayantiben Mehta of BJP, then it was Milind Devra again for Congress, and then we saw Arvind Sawant also getting that particular cabinet berth in Modi government, the first Modi government. So now it would be interesting to see that whether people of South Mumbai shows that trust on Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena or Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, because as I said, Shiv Sena versus Shiv Sena is happening here in South Mumbai.
Meanwhile, corporate bigwigs are coming out in large numbers to cast their vote. Former HDFC chairman Deepak Parekh expressed his disappointment with the low voter turnout. He told CNBC TV18's Yash Jain that stability is the key for progress and we need a good leadership for that. Listen in.
I was very disappointed. I asked the voting, the man who took the, checked the name and all that, what is the turnout now? He said it's low. This is South Bombay and it's low, but the process is slow also. I know some people who stood for 1 hour and gone because it's very hot.
Absolutely, sir. So one thing about, of course, the voting and the government, how important, according to you, would be the political stability for policy stability going forward, sir?
No, it's absolutely necessary to have a stable government, and stability is the key for progress. So we need stability, we need good leadership at the center, which we've been having for the last 10 years. And so we hope that whichever party is elected, there's stability. National level is also, we cannot get a 7% consistent growth rate with a reasonable inflation.
So, of course, the main intention for the next government, as per spelled out by the existing government, is developed India by 2047. How do you see it? 6 to 7% GDP growth right now. What is the consistent growth rate which India needs to achieve, and what would be the key criteria?
7 to 9% GDP growth rate, India will be a different place in 10 years. Continuous 7 to 8, 9%. We will be a different country, a stronger country. We are even now a strong economy, but it'll be even better.
Strong words coming in there. As he followed Mumbaikars going to poll, CNN News 18's Rachna spoke to NSE's MD and CEO Ashish Chauhan to understand his key economic expectations from the new government and confirmed his faith in the city's voters despite the low voter turnout.
We are all voting for India. We are all voting for the growth of the country, infrastructure, and ensure that law and order continues to be maintained across India.
So, when it comes to specific areas, like what are your economic expectations, market expectations with this election?
No, I think market has already discounted broadly that the current government is coming in. And so, if you, in a way, anything else, if it happens, we will have to see. Otherwise, broadly, the market has already sort of discounted most of it.
Anything that you're pitching for in terms of policies?
No, we are basically, being market infrastructure institutions, we always want stability in policy making, economic growth, and of course law and order, because without which the country cannot progress.
Also, according to you, sir, what kind of a role would a continuity in the government play?
No, in a way, I think 10 years the government has created the building blocks. Probably next few years, if this government comes back, then they'll have a much larger runway for taking off on various areas, including infrastructure or job creation and other things.
We're also in Mumbai, and one trend we've witnessed in this maximum city is very minimum voter turnout. What would you like to say to voters?
No, I think it will happen. I think this city is very, very conscientious, and it will certainly, you will see a lot more people coming in by the evening.
Right, let's now cut across to Sandhya Gora and understand the other key candidates in Mumbai and the electoral setup in Maharashtra at large. Sandhya, before we talk about the key issues and key candidates, the concerning part is the low voter turnout. The patterns are emerging. Maharashtra is voting at its lowest. Usually the pattern is that it's below the national average all the time. Despite the strong campaigning around urging people to vote, the numbers are still abysmal. What is it that you're picking up from the ground?
So, Archana, before we talk about any of that, I'm glad you raised the point of voter turnout. So I would like to mention that I'm done with it. I have exercised my right, or rather say that I've fulfilled my responsibility. So I and the entire CNBC TV18, we would like to request all the voters to step out, to cast their vote, to exercise their right and to fulfill their responsibility, their duty towards the nation. And in the middle of all the work, I am done with it. So I have done it, and let's talk about the voter turnout now. Unfortunately, as you rightly mentioned, that Mumbai, when it comes to the voter turnout, there is nothing to write home about, especially a constituency like South Bombay. Unsurprisingly, the voter turnout has been the lowest in South Mumbai across all the 6 constituencies. Now it is expected that as the day will pass, and especially in the evening hours, the voter rush will be there. The voter turnout will increase, because that has been the trend for the last 4 phases at least. So all we can hope is that people step out of their house. Unfortunately, this is combined with the weekend. So there are people who have already left the city. They have treated it like a long weekend, but let's hope that more and more people step out of the house and cast their vote towards the end of the day. Now let's talk about the key constituencies and key candidates here, Archana. Before that, I would like to tell you I'm in Powai area that falls under the North East constituency. Let me see if we can speak to some voters as well. आपने वोट कास्ट कर दिया है, आप ये बताएं कौन से मुद्दों को ध्यान में रख के वोट कास्ट किया है?
कुछ नहीं, अभी सब कुछ अच्छा होना चाहिए हमारा यहाँ पे. लास्ट इसमें तो इतना कुछ इफेक्टिव नहीं लगा, बट अभी इसके आगे हो सकता है.
आपने कहा अच्छा होना चाहिए, तो एग्जैक्टली किस चीज के अच्छे होने की आप बात कर रहे हैं?
मतलब जो कुछ पवे में इश्यूज है उसके ऊपर जो कुछ उनका फाइनलाइज होना चाहिए, और जो कुछ इश्यूज और भी रहेंगे वो क्लियर आउट होना चाहिए, बस अदरवाइज कुछ नहीं.
ठीक है, एरिया की बेहतरी के लिए आपने कौन से इश्यूज को ध्यान में रखा है या फिर रखेंगे वोट डालते टाइम?
इश्यू तो बहुत सारे इश्यू है. अभी तो बोल रहे हैं कि बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है, पर कुछ अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है. महंगाई बढ़ती जा रही है.
और देखिए, मुंबई के लोगों के लिए ट्रैफिक से लेकर के रोड की कंडीशन से लेकर के, देखिए हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट में हैं, घाटकोपर में होर्डिंग भी गिर गया था, तो सिविक इश्यूज कितना मैटर करेंगे? म्युनिसिपल इश्यूज मैटर करेंगे?
हाँ, वो तो करते ही है. अभी वो सब सिस्टम में तो वो लोग उनके ऊपर डिपेंड है, उसको किस तरीके से हैंडल करेंगे आगे चल के.
Okay, so these are some of the voices from Northeast, Mumbai North East constituency, Archana. And let me just tell you one thing: the importance of civic issues is going to be very important for the Mumbaikars, especially of this constituency, because it's been hardly a week that because of a dust storm, an illegal hoarding, it collapsed and it claimed 16 lives. So that shows that how much more needs to be done when it comes to civic issues. And according to these voters, that was on their minds when they cast their votes. Archana.
Absolutely. And I hope when the people who have been demanding accountability from the authority step out and vote, because this is their opportunity, their chance to actually seek accountability in the name of their power, the duty of casting their vote. Thank you so much, Sandhya, for that update from Ground Zero. Let's also listen in to my colleague Reema Tendulkar speaking to Nilesh Shah, founder and CEO of Envision Capital, about what these elections mean for the market.
Clearly, the volatility is essentially a function of the expected outcomes and different scenarios which are getting built up. But once essentially we have the election verdict, my sense is a lot of volatility will settle down and we will be essentially back to normal.
Do you think the FPIs will come back into the market and start buying?
Oh, absolutely. I think they will come back with a bang. Once the uncertainty is behind us and once they see a certainty for the next 5 years, they will come in with a bang.
So let's talk about the various scenarios, right? There are 3 scenarios which come to my mind in terms of a political outcome. One, the NDA comes back with an aggressive, thumping win. Second, they win. They get a comfortable majority, but it's not aggressive. It's not that 400 plus that the market was hoping for. And third is we have a surprise and the opposition, does really well. In each of these three scenarios, how do you expect the markets to play out?
Well, if it's a thumping majority, an overwhelming majority, I think the market is going to respond back with a bang.
Can we get those? You remember in 2009, after we got that, I think 2 upper circuits?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm not too sure about the upper circuits, but clearly there'll be a massive upward bias instantaneously. So the market will be looking for that immediate gratification. If it's a comfortable majority, I probably think, yes, it will be an upside bias, but it may not be as pronounced versus a thumping majority. But if it's the last outcome, which essentially is where it's completely an uncertain market, uncertain outcome, where the current government essentially doesn't come back to power, I think the markets aren't prepared for that.
Not prepared at all?
Not at all. Because, Rima, what the markets don't like is uncertainty. The markets like stability, markets like continuity, markets like positive change. So if the current government essentially doesn't get re-elected, I don't think the markets are going to take that kindly, at least from an immediate reaction point of view.
Okay. Let's talk about scenario number 2. BJP comes back to power. They have a majority. But again, it's not the thumping win, right? So it doesn't derail the economic progress, the path that we're on, but does it slow it down?
I don't think so, Rima, because the bottom line is that India will continue to grow at about 7%, give or take 25-50 basis points. India will remain the world's fastest growing large economy. I still think it will bode well and augur well for macroeconomic stability. That's what foreign investors, all investors look forward to. And India as an investment destination will only keep getting better and better with every passing month, every passing year. So I think if we essentially have the second scenario, I still believe that is going to be a hugely positive trend.
And the FPIs come back with a bang in scenario 1 and 2.
Oh, absolutely, because then they know that till 2029, they don't have to worry or bother about that. They can look forward to policy continuity. They can look forward to many policy changes. They can look forward to introduction of newer policies, which makes India even a more attractive investment destination. So I clearly believe that essentially the FPIs essentially are going to come in with a big bang.
Well, Bollywood celebrities turned out in large numbers to cast their votes. Prominent B-Town actors Akshay Kumar, Rajkumar Rao, Farhan Akhtar and director Zoya Akhtar cast their vote in the early hours, setting up an example for the city. The celebrities also urged the voters to come out and fulfill their duty as responsible citizens of India. Yeah. All right, on that note, we'll slip into a short break, but stay tuned. We'll be back with more election coverage. We'll be back. Welcome back to CNBC TV18's coverage of Phase 5 elections. All eyes are on the battleground of Uttar Pradesh, where voting is underway for 144 candidates whose fate will be sealed today. This phase will determine the fate of former Congress President Rahul Gandhi, who's contesting from Raebareli. The BJP's Smriti Irani is also defending Amethi, the seat she won against Rahul Gandhi in 2019. News 18's Shireen Elizabeth is in Raebareli with a ground report.
Well, clearly a lot is at stake for the Gandhis here, not just in Raebareli but also in Amethi, because these are the two bastions that's said to be the Gandhi bastion that are in fact left as far as Gandhis are concerned. But even in 2000, when it comes to Amethi in 2019, we have seen how Smriti Irani won that particular constituency. Now the Gandhis really want to make sure that they get that particular seat back, and that is why they have put KL Sharma, one of their loyalists who has been there for over 40 years altogether with the Gandhis, is contesting against Smriti Irani. Now, right now, I am at Raebareli, Lucknow border, and we have been told that Rahul Gandhi has in fact arrived at Lucknow, and he's going to be coming from Lucknow to Raebareli by road, and then he'll be going to Basrawa, one of the villages in Raebareli, and he'll be in fact will be staying in Raebareli today. We'll be doing the booth management. We'll be going to each of these villages to see if everything is in order. Remember, this is happening after quite some time, because in 2019 Rahul Gandhi, when the Amethi was going into polls, Rahul Gandhi didn't come here. He was only here for the campaigning, but on the polling day he was at a different state altogether. Same when it comes to Wayanad this time. We have not seen Rahul Gandhi except for the campaigning. He was not present on the polling day. But here, today on the polling day on 20th, Rahul Gandhi is in fact on the way. He is going to arrive here, will be going to each of the polls, will be speaking to the people to see if everything is in order. This itself shows you how much is at stake for the Gandhis when it comes to Raebareli. That is the only one constituency that is left when we talk about Uttar Pradesh. So it becomes all the more important for the Gandhis to retain this particular constituency. And in, against Rahul Gandhi is Dinesh Pratap Singh, who's also very confident because he says that he was able to narrow down the margin between him and Sonia Gandhi in 2019 to around 1,67,000. And this time he will be able to outstep Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhis from this particular constituency. But of course, only time will say that what is really the situation and mood on ground, and people who are they really willing to make one win from Raebareli.
Right, moving on, National Conference leader Omar Abdullah is fighting from the Baramulla seat in Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, these are the first general elections being held in the Union Territory since the abrogation of Article 370. CNN News 18's Zesha Anwani joins us from Palghar in the Baramulla district to tell us more.
We are coming to you from Palghar, which is in North Kashmir's Baramulla. It's different today. Why is it different? Because this place has seen endless cycle of violence. In 2010, when Kashmir was going through a turmoil, it saw the maximum number of civilian deaths during that crucial phase of protest. But today, these booths will be empty. There will be no crowd, no voters. But today you see there are queues of voters at this very sensitive polling station. Last time I came to cover here, there was a grenade attack right outside this particular location. But today, people are coming out and freely exercising their franchise. And this is one such location which was the most sensitive in North Kashmir. It has seen protests, it has seen clashes, it has seen militancy, and it has seen, several other factors that had got a bad name for Palghar. But today you see voting is going on peacefully, security arrangements have been made, and people are now exercising their franchise and also participating in this festival of democracy.
Right, with that, it's a wrap on our special broadcast. Thank you for watching. More news and updates continue on CNBC TV18.